Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the Zener diode. Zener diode is the special semiconductor devices. So in the fifth chapter, we are going to discuss about different semiconductor devices. The devices are Zener diode, tunnel diode, Isaki tunnel diode, and so on, photodiode. And we having the different diodes we try to discuss in the latter classes. Now we are going to discuss about the Zener diode in detail. Zener diode is the special purpose diode. This is just like the PN junction diode. So the Zener diode having the two terminals, just like the PN junction diode, that is anode and cathode, and it also having the two materials, that is a p-type material and n-type material. So the junction, just like the PN junction diode, this is also a PN junction diode, but the purpose of Zener diode is it operate in the reverse bias direction. So let's see what is the Zener diode, how it is differ from the PN junction diode, what are the applications of the Zener diode, what are the ratings of the Zener diode, and we try to discuss one or two applications in detail about the Zener diode. First you see what is a Zener diode. Zener diode is basically like an ordinary PN junction diode, but normally operated in reverse biased condition. I already said Zener diode is nothing but a ordinary, just like the ordinary PN junction diode, but the operation of the PN junction diode in the reverse bias. Once we recall PN junction diode, the PN junction diode having the two biases, forward bias and reverse bias. PN junction diode in the forward bias is used for the current flowing, that is called as the short circuit. We can say simply PN junction in the forward bias is on. So coming to the reverse bias, if we apply the reverse bias to the PN junction diode, it's act as a open circuit. No current will flow through the device when it is connected in the reverse bias. That's why PN junction diode is called as a unidirectional device. That is, it current flows in only one direction. If current flow direction changes, the diode becomes the reverse bias. So coming to this Zener diode is basically like an ordinary PN junction diode, but normally operated in reverse biased condition. But ordinary PN junction diode connected in reverse biased condition is not used as Zener diode practically. So we can simply whether the PN junction diode used in the reverse bias as a Zener diode, no, it's not possible. It should have the a specific impurity should be added to this PN junction diode. Now we try to discuss what is there in the Zener diode. A Zener diode is a specially designed, highly doped PN junction diode. You can say like that. That is the concept of the Zener diode. Zener diode is a specially designed, highly doped PN junction diode. Specially designed, highly doped PN junction diode is called as a Zener diode. The symbol is like the Zener diode is like the PN junction diode only. The difference is the line on the diode is indicated as a Z as shown in the figure. It is indicated as a Z. Z stands for Zener diode. Z transfer Zener diode. So this is called as a Zener diode. You can see the symbol of the Zener diode. So now we try to what is the working principle of Zener diode? How it works? So in the meanwhile, we try to discuss how it is formed. Already we mentioned highly doped PN junction is called as a Zener diode. Highly doped PN junction diode is called as a Zener diode. When a PN junction diode is reverse biased, the depletion layer becomes wider. So this is the actual basic principle of why we are going for the Zener diode. So when seeing this PN junction diode, what happens? The forward bias is useful, okay, but why can't we use this reverse bias? Why can't we use this reverse bias? Any usage is there by using this reverse bias. So like that they do the experiments on that reverse bias condition. Finally they develop a concept called as a Zener breakdown. When a PN junction diode is reverse biased, the depletion layer becomes wider. What is the meaning of depletion layer? Depletion region means in between the p-type material and n-type material the junction is formed. At the junction, some of the free charge carriers are depleted at the junction. Because of recombination of holes with the electrons. Some of the free charge carriers are depleted or eliminated at the junction. That area where we don't having the free charge carriers, that is called as a depletion layer. So what happens to this PN junction diode? Whenever we apply the reverse bias, what happens? Reverse bias means p-type material is connected to the negative side, n-type material is connected to the positive terminal. So what happens in the p-type? We having the majority charge carriers are holes. N-type we having the majority charge carriers are electrons. In the p-type, holes are attracted towards the battery negative terminal. Electrons are attracted towards the battery of positive terminal. So that what happens? Some more free charge carriers are eliminated from the junction. That is nothing but the depletion layer, the junction depletion layer, the region where we don't having the free charge carriers, that area is increases. That is called as a depletion layer becomes wider. When a PN junction diode is reverse biased, the depletion layer becomes wider. If this reverse biased voltage across the diode is increased continuously, the depletion layer becomes more and more wider. What happens? Again you apply the more and more reverse bias condition to the PN junction diode. More and more holes and electrons are attracted towards the battery positive and negative terminals. So what happens? When the more number of free charge carriers are attracted towards the battery, the depletion layer width is increases more and more. That is called as a more and more wider. At the same time, there will be a constant reverse saturation current due to minority charge carriers. So what happens in the the junction is wide, the junction depletion layer is widening. And also another effect is there we have some minority charge carriers are there. So because of this reverse bias, a constant reverse saturation current is producing through the junction. Constant reverse saturation current will be existed because of this minority charge carriers. After certain reverse voltage, across the junction, the minority carriers get sufficient kinetic energy. What happens? Get the sufficient kinetic energy due to the strong electric field. What is the meaning is, if we increase the reverse bias at the junction, because of this strong electric field at the junction, what happens? The charge carriers, the minority charge carriers get a handsome amount of kinetic energy. That is, the moving, they may vibrate speedily. Okay, so minority carriers get sufficient kinetic energy due to the strong electrical field which we are applied in the reverse bias. After a certain reverse voltage across the junction, the minority carriers get sufficient kinetic energy due to the strong electric field. Those free electrons with sufficient kinetic energy, those are minority charge carriers with sufficient kinetic energy, collide with the stationary ions of the depletion layer. And knock out more free electrons. What happens? Due to this high strong electrical field, the minority charge carriers get energized and they get the kinetic energy. Because of that high forced kinetic energy, what happens means heavy forcefully they collide with the stationary ions which they are we are situated at the depletion layer. At the depletion layer, we having the stationary ions. We don't having any movement. They don't having the movement is there. That is called as a stationary ions we have. So what happens? This high speed electrons are collide with this stationary ions. What happens? That kinetic energy of these electrons, they produce the more electrons from that ion. So that ion, what happens? That absorbs that kinetic energy and frees some of the free electrons to the junction. So free electrons with sufficient kinetic energy collide with the stationary ions of the depletion layer and knock out more free electrons. Knock out the more free electrons from the stationary ions. So that what happens? The strength, the number of electrons will be increases in the reverse bias, not in the forward bias, in the reverse bias, because of what we applied strong electric field. The free charge carriers of minority charge carriers acquires the strong kinetic energy. That strong kinetic energy will make with the colliding with that ions, stationary ions, they knock out the more free electrons. These newly created free electrons also get sufficient kinetic energy due to the same electric field, and they create more free electrons by the collision cumulatively. So what happens? Again, whatever the free electrons are generated because of this collision, okay, so these free electrons again acquire a strong electric field which we are giving to the junction. So again these free electrons are energized with this high strong electrical field. They acquire the sufficient kinetic energy and they cumulatively collide with the another stationary ions. What happens? Again they generate the more number of free electrons. More number of free electrons. Due to this commutative phenomena, due to this commutative phenomena, very soon huge free electrons get created in the depletion layer and the entire diode will become the conductive. What happens? Again, this whatever the free electrons are generated, they kinetically energized and they collide with the another ions. Again, when they collide with the ions, again they generate the more number of free electron compared to the previous one. After generating that previous electrons, again they collide with the ions and again they generate the free electrons. Like this high concentration of impurity atoms causes the higher due to this cumulative phenomena generating free electrons and colliding with the ions and generating free electrons. Like this cumulative phenomena, very soon huge free electrons are get created in the depletion layer. In the depletion layer, huge amount of free electrons are generated and the entire diode will goes into the conductive. Entire diode will becomes the conductive because we having the free electron. Where it is? In the reverse bias. In the reverse bias, we having the what you say, entire diode will become in the conductive manner. This type of breakdown of the depletion layer is known as avalanche breakdown. This type of breakdown is called as the avalanche breakdown, but this breakdown is not quite sharp. Why? Because suddenly we don't get the higher electrons, because once the magnetic charge carrier should be energized. After they collide with the ions, then they generate the more free electrons. After the generating a free electron, they acquire the kinetic energy and again that electrons collide with the ions, then they generate the huge amount of free electron. Like that, it takes some time. So it is not a sharp generation. So this is the one type of breakdown is there, that is called as the avalanche breakdown. It is occurred in the reverse bias. So another type of breakdown also is there. There is another type of breakdown in the depletion layer which is sharper compared to the avalanche breakdown. So what we needed? We needed the sharper breakdown. In the avalanche breakdown, it takes some slope to get the higher conductivity, but we need the sharper conductivity. So that type of device is called as a Zener breakdown. There is another type of breakdown in depletion layer which is sharper compared to avalanche breakdown, and this is called the Zener breakdown. When a PN junction is a diode is highly doped. So where we are getting this type of Zener breakdown means, if the PN junction diode is highly doped, the concentration of impurity atoms will be high in the crystal. So what is the meaning of highly doped? We need to add the more number of impurities to the intrinsic semiconductor. What is the meaning of intrinsic semiconductor? Intrinsic semiconductor means pure form of the semiconductor. If you add the impurities, that is called as a doping. So if the PN junction diode is highly doped, highly adding the impure atoms to the impurity atoms will be high in the crystal. When a PN junction diode is highly doped, the concentration of impurity atoms will be high in the crystal. This higher concentration of impurity atoms causes the higher concentration of ions in the depletion layer. Depletion layer. Hence, for same applied reverse biased voltage, the width of the depletion layer becomes thinner than that in a normally doped diode. So what we are doing here is, if you make the higher doping, the depletion layer width is decreases. The depletion layer width is decreases, and also the depletion layer also having the higher concentration stationary atoms. Higher concentration stationary atoms are there, because more number of charge carriers are recombined at the junction. The junction width is thinner, and the ions at the junction is very high because of the doping is heavily doped, heavy concentration. So what happens? This higher concentration of impurity atoms causes the higher concentration of ions in the depletion layer. Hence, for small applied reverse voltage, what happens? For small applied reverse biased voltage, the width of the depletion layer becomes thinner than in a normal doped diode. Due to this thin depletion layer, voltage gradient or electrical field strength across the depletion layer is very high. Because of the layer is thin, applied voltage is what happens? It is thin means whatever you applied small amount of voltage also, it is higher to particular that depletion layer, that particular depletion layer. So the what is the meaning? Due to this thinner depletion layer, voltage gradient or electrical field strength across the depletion layer is very high, so it generates the if the reverse voltage is continued to increase after a certain applied voltage, the electrons from the covalent bonds within the depletion region come out and make the depletion region conductive. What happens here? We don't having any collision here. Collision is not there. What happens? Because of this high electrical field, whatever the ions are situated in the depletion layer, that depletion layer ions covalent bond should be break. Covalent bond should be what you say, covalent bonds will be breaks itself, and they will generate the more number of free electrons. That is called as a Zener breakdown. If the reverse voltage is continued to increase, if we increase the reverse voltage after a certain applied voltage, the electrons from the covalent bonds within the depletion layers come out and make the depletion region is conductive, just like the avalanche breakdown. In the avalanche breakdown, the free minority charge carriers acquires the kinetic energy. Due to that kinetic energy, they collide with the depletion layer ions, and then generate the more number of free electrons. But in the Zener diode, we don't have any collision here. What happens? Because of this thin layer and because of this high electrical field at the junction, they breaks the covalent bonds of the depletion layer atoms. After breaking the covalent bonds, what happens? Some of the free electrons are comes at the junction. So if we apply the more and more reverse bias, we will get the more number of electrons by breaking the covalent bonds of the atoms in the depletion layer. So then the diode becomes the conductive in the depletion region. This breakdown is called as a Zener breakdown. This type of phenomena is called as a Zener breakdown. The voltage at which this breakdown occurs is called as Zener voltage. At what reverse voltage the junction or the device goes into the conduction mode, so that voltage is called as a Zener voltage. So we are applying a voltage, some voltage. At some voltage the device may completely goes into the conductive mode in the reverse bias, so that voltage is called as a Zener voltage. That voltage is called as a Zener voltage. We have the two breakdowns, avalanche breakdown and Zener breakdown. So generally Zener breakdown is used for the small breakdown voltages. For high breakdown voltages we use the avalanche breakdown. We try to discuss in the later slides. If the applied reverse voltage across the diode is more than Zener voltage, what happens? Okay, Zener breakdown is okay, it is goes into the conduction mode, it is conducting. So again, if the applied reverse voltage across the diode is more than the Zener voltage, what happens? The diode provides a conductive path to the current through it. Hence, there is no chance of further avalanche breakdown in it. There is no chance of further avalanche breakdown in it. The meaning is, after it is enter into the conductive mode, what happens? They don't accumulate at the depletion layer. What happens? They will conduct. They will pass through the junction and moves towards the conducting path. If we applied reverse voltage across the diode is more than the Zener voltage, the excess voltage is converted into the movement of the electrons. The diode provides a conductive path to the current through it. Hence, there is no chance of further avalanche breakdown in it. There is no further avalanche breakdown. Only the current flowing is there. Theoretically, the Zener breakdown occurs at a lower voltage levels than avalanche breakdown in a diode, especially doped for Zener breakdown. So already I mentioned that is Zener breakdown occurs lower voltages because it is a highly doped device, highly doped PN junction diode. But avalanche breakdown is a normal type of PN junction diode, not we having the high doping is there. So the avalanche breakdowns occur at the higher voltage levels. So Zener breakdown is much sharper than the avalanche breakdown. Why? Because Zener breakdown is a thinner junction is there. So that's why thinner depletion layer is there. That's why we having the Zener breakdown is much sharper than avalanche breakdown. So what happens means, if the applied reverse voltage across the diode is more than Zener voltage, the diode provides a conductive path to the current through it. Hence, there is no chance of further avalanche breakdown in it. Theoretically, Zener breakdown occurs at a lower voltage levels than avalanche breakdown in a diode level, then especially doped for the Zener breakdown. The Zener breakdown is much sharper than the avalanche breakdown. Okay, now the Zener voltage of the diode gets adjusted during the manufacturing with the help of required and proper doping. How we get the Zener voltage? Zener voltage means we make the diode get adjusted during the manufacturing. So for what amount of voltage it should be break. So for that, what amount of doping should be performed with the pure form of the semiconductor. That is take care at the level of the manufacturing. The Zener voltage of the diode gets adjusted during manufacturing with the help of required and proper doping. When a Zener diode is connected across a voltage source and the source voltage is more than Zener voltage, the voltage across a Zener diode remains fixed irrespective of the source voltage. This is one of the main application or main usages. That is you can say that is a Zener diode is connected across a voltage source, and that voltage source is more than this Zener diode voltage. Then what happen is, irrespective of source voltage, the output voltage of the Zener diode is same as the Zener voltage only. That is, when a Zener diode is connected across a voltage source and the source voltage is more than Zener voltage, the voltage across a Zener diode remains fixed irrespective of the source voltage. If you change more voltage also, the output voltage of the Zener diode is same, because the excess amount of voltage is converted into the current of the flow of the electrons. So large number of electrons are generated, that's all. After that we don't have any more generation of electrons. Although at that condition, current through the diode can be of any value depending on the load connected with the diode. This is the main thing. At this condition, current through the diode can be of any value depending on the load current with the diode. The thing is that converted into the current, load current. That is why we use the Zener diode mainly for controlling voltage in different circuit. That is nothing but a voltage as a Zener diode as a voltage controlling device or voltage regulator. That's why for this reason we use the Zener diode for controlling the voltage in different circuit. Thing is, when a Zener diode is connected across the voltage source and the source voltage is more than Zener voltage, the voltage across the Zener diode remain fixed irrespective of the source voltage. Although at that condition, current through the diode can be of any value depending on the load connected with the diode. That is why we use a Zener diode mainly for controlling voltage in different circuits. So now we see the Zener diode circuit. Now we try to see the Zener diode. Already we mentioned Zener diode symbol. So already we discussed that these two principles of the Zener diode, avalanche breakdown and Zener breakdown. We try to discuss more about this one in the later classes. So now we see about the Zener diode circuit. You can see Zener diode is nothing but a single diode connected in a reverse bias, a diode connected in reverse bias position in a circuit. See here, N is connected to P. Generally we have the P and N is there, but it is a reverse diode is reversely placed. N and P in the middle, they represent the depletion layer. The N is connected to the positive terminal, P is connected to the negative terminal. That is called as a reverse bias. You can see the characteristics of Zener diode, how it is behave. You can say simply Zener diode in the forward bias like the PN junction diode. In the reverse bias, you can see until Zener voltage, it is current is 0. After reaching the Zener voltage, Zener breakdown, we will get the further increase in the voltage is converted into the goes into the current. So that is giving the Zener knee, that is called Zener voltage or knee voltage. After that voltage, whatever the reverse voltage you are giving, that is converted into the current. Why? Because it goes into the conduction mode. It's going into the conduction mode. So now we try to see, you can see it again. You can see very simple way you given the forward bias region, the Zener breakdown region is here. Until Vz, there is no usage is there. After we get the constant Zener voltage and current is increasing. You said Iz minimum to Iz maximum. You can see like that. So when the diode is connected in forward bias, this diode acts as a normal diode. already we mentioned it is act as a normal diode, but when the reverse bias voltage is greater than Zener voltage, a sharp breakdown takes place as shown in the characteristics. But when the reverse bias voltage is greater than Zener voltage, what happens? A sharp breakdown takes place in the VI characteristics. So in the VI characteristic above Vz is called as the Zener voltage. It is also the knee voltage because at this point the current increases very rapidly. It is also known as the knee voltage because at this point the current increases very rapidly. You can see the diagram how it is. Zener diode IV characteristics or VI characteristics, you can say anyway. The symbol also is there, Zener diode symbol. We can say cathode anode is there, that is in the form of Z. We can represent in the form of the Z only. Forward bias is the forward current, reverse current, this is in the forward bias positive positive, reverse bias is the negative negative. We need to apply the negative voltage, we get the negative current only. Okay, so Vz, the forward voltage is there just like the PN junction diode, 0.3 for silicon, 0.7 for silicon, 0.3 for germanium. So Zener diode, depending on the doping and conditions, adjustments, Zener diode having the different Zener voltages are there. PN junction diode having the this forward voltage is 0.3 and 0.7. After that it will conducting. Okay, if we increase any voltage, the voltage drop at that forward bias is only 0.3 for germanium, 0.7 for the silicon. So but in the reverse bias, you see here, if the voltage increases, why? Because we can increase the voltage. In the forward bias there is no control of the voltage. After 0.3 or 0.7 it is conduct only. We can't change this 0.3 value and 0.7 value. That is not possible. But it is possible. Where it is possible? It is possible in the reverse bias. In the reverse bias you can see Vz value we can increase or decrease depending on the doping, depending on the breakdown. If you wanted to get the higher Zener breakdown, we go for the avalanche breakdown. Okay, if for the smaller value we go for the Zener breakdown. If you wanted a sharp breakdown, we go for the Zener breakdown. Otherwise we go for the avalanche breakdown. Like that, the advantage of Zener diode is we can change the voltages, operating voltages. We can change the operating voltages. The meaning is after this voltage only device will be on. The what amount of the voltage you give, that amount of voltage only occurs there. Remaining voltage goes to the current. So we can also consider it may has a voltage source, a fixed voltage source which will give the a fixed amount of output voltage. So like this also we can use this Zener diode. So where we use this Zener diodes generally? So voltage as a voltage stabilizer or else stabilizer, or also we can also call it as a voltage regulator. We can also call it as a voltage regulator. Zener diode as a voltage regulator. The Zener diode is used for regulating the voltage. It is used for the regulating the voltage. It provides the constant voltage from the fluctuating voltage source to the load. Fluctuating voltage source to the load. The Zener diode is connected in parallel across the load and maintain the constant voltage Vz and hence stabilizes the voltage. We can see elaborately in the example, but you try to understand what is this voltage stabilizer. The basic property of the Zener diode is it provides a constant voltage across the Zener diode terminals. So what is the meaning? The Zener diode is used for regulating the voltage. Regulating the voltage. What is the meaning of regulating? If you give any fluctuated voltage to the device, it will give the constant voltage at the output side. The meaning is, if any sudden changes in the input voltage, they may causes the damage in the circuit, because some of the components may having the capacity of bearing the low voltages. We connected at the low voltage, but because of unwanted fluctuation, the voltage is reached higher value. What happens? The device may goes damaged, may short circuit, may burn out there. So in order to avoid this type of problems, we use the stabilizer, that is nothing but a Zener diode. So if we having the hike in the voltage, what happens? The output voltage is same, the whatever the hike is there, that will go converted into the current only. So like that, it will protects the device. It will protects the device by regulating the input fluctuating voltage. The Zener diode is used for regulating the voltage. It provides the constant voltage from the fluctuating voltage source to the load. How we can connect? The Zener diode is connected in parallel. Across the load. We need to connect the Zener diode and maintain the constant voltage Vz, and we should maintain the constant voltage Vz, and hence stabilizes the voltage, So that's why Zener diode is called as a Zener voltage regulator or voltage stabilizer, or we can also call as a voltage stabilizer. So another type of also we have another type of applications are for meter protection. So same way, this is also for meter protection. Meters are very sensitive. They can having some of bearing capacity is there. So how we can see? The Zener diode is generally used in multimeters for controlling the movement of the meter against accidental overloads. You can see, you remember this very important point. Controlling the movement of the meter against accidental overloads. If you get any accidental overloads to the meter, so the meter may goes damaged. We need to protect the meter. Whenever you want to measure anything, the meter should be safe. Otherwise, we can't get the proper values. The Zener diode is generally used in multimeters for controlling the movement of the meter against accidental overloads. It is connected in parallel with the diode, where we use the it is connected parallel with the diode. When the overload occurs across the diode, most of the current pass through the diode, thus protects the meter from the damage. So what we are doing is, the meter is connected across the Zener diode. If any high fluctuations occur, whatever the occurring fluctuation is there, that is converted as a current and passing through the diode only. The diode only produce the constant voltage towards the meter. So that is the one of the best usage of the Zener diode. When the overload occurs, the diode must when the overload occurs, the diode, most of the current passes through the diode, thus protects the meter from the damage. So thus it protects the meter from the damage. One another application is wave shaping. One another application is the wave shaping. What is the meaning of wave shaping? Wave shaping is nothing but we need to remove some portion in the waveforms in order to achieve our desired waveforms. So that is called as a wave shaping. waveform shaping. We reshape the wave. Generally we have the sine wave, we make that wave into another wave. That type of things is called as a wave shaping. The Zener diode is used for converting the sine wave into the square wave. You can see the Zener diode is used for the converting the sine wave into the square wave. Generally these are called as test waves. So for example, we need the sine wave, we need the square wave. Where we need to get the square wave? The natural wave is the sine wave. The sine wave is generated only by using the oscillators. So if we require the square wave, we use this Zener diode. This can be done by placing the two Zener diodes in series with the resistance. We use the two Zener diodes in series with the resistance. The two Zener diodes are connected in series. The diode is connected back to back and in the opposite direction. The diode is connected in back to back in the opposite direction. What happens in the positive direction? In the positive direction, first device is short circuit. In the reverse direction, first diode is on. When it will be on, after reaching its after reaching its Zener voltage VZ1, it will be on until it having the VZ only. So coming to the second diode, it will be 0. So next, when it goes to the reverse bias, when it goes to forward bias, first diode will be on, but there is no voltage drop, it is short circuit. Second diode will be goes to the reverse bias and it will be on at the VZ2. Like that we will get the upper side VZ1, lower side VZ2. If both the values are same, VZ1, VZ1, VZ, so we will get the square wave. So like this we are shaping the waves by using the Zener diode. So this is about the Zener diode. In the next class we try to discuss elaborately about the Zener diode and its characteristics and its applications. Thank you.